Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bible Rave. Today I'm talking about Psalms 30, verse 5. It says, "For ire is in his indignation, and life in his will. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning." It actually is not the way that mine had it earlier. I brought up a second one. But it says, ire or anger is in the indignation. So, ire is like iron to me, and indignation is like anger. So it's a hard anger, like a heated piece of iron for anger. And then, and life is in his will. So when we make the free choice to choose God, our life becomes his will. So that's how life is in his will. And it says, weeping may endure for a night. But I don't like that one. It said it said for morning, morrowtide, but it says weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning, or in the morrowtide. And so essentially, weeping or being sad can last for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Well, today the thing is, though, I really want to focus on the last section of the verse 5. Weeping may endure for a night, but cometh in, like I like to say, the morrowtide. Because not many people realize we have the ability to actually shape the way we process anger, to shape the duration that we decide to be angry. Have you ever had a best friend and they just like backstabbed you, and they came over and then they said sorry, and then they spit out that one piece of information you didn't know? For instance, it could be like, but I didn't know this is who you were into, or but I wasn't sure, and so I said this. And all of a sudden it's like this pathway to openness and understanding and clarity happens, and you are able to instantly forgive, instantly make everything okay. Everything inside of you is at peace, and that moment or that situation is one that you really don't remember. And that's what I feel I want to really get into, because how many times do we sit for years hoping someone will make restitution with what we feel is injustice to ourselves? How many times do we sit around and say, man, I wish that I didn't feel this much pain, or I could get over this person, or this job would look at me better, or my kids would behave. It's always, I wish this person would, and we hold on to it, and we almost make it part of our identity. And when we start to change in our rediscovery of self and elevation, we lose that. And so many people are scared of what happens when I lose that. What does that void space feel like? If God's anger is hard like hot iron, and what was the second part? And life is choosing his will, then his will is that we're not angry at people all the time for long periods of time. His will is that we find ways to forgive. And I actually saw something the other day that said you're only supposed to have like a group of 150 max, right? And then you have to start subdividing your groups up. Well, in the video also, the next thing I saw that added to that is that we were never supposed, and maybe this is someone's opinion, we were never supposed to know what was happening on the other side of the world. We were never supposed to be so involved in the next person's situation, because then we start to attach to it as if it's our problem. Let's do that one again. We were never supposed to attach to every situation. We were only supposed to attach to the ones within the 150 and make that our problem. But because we've become so diverse in our ways to communicate, we now know about everybody's problem, which then comes back to holding on to that anger for a super long time. I can't believe those people in Russia are doing that. The people in Ukraine are suffering. The people in Israel are doing this. How long, though, do we sit and stay angry if we don't have a solution? How do we process? And you process by doing God's will. And how do you do that? By knowing that his anger is like an ire, which I consider like a hot iron rod. So if you're going out today and you want to make a little bit of change on how you react to the world, how do you handle your anger? Is it through your ego or is it through God's will? Is it through loving your neighbor like yourself? Or is it through taking on maybe what you were never supposed to take on? I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.